Are you AM or sales?
I'm sales.
Okay.
But because I am so specifically focused on peer-to-peer, I straddle the two a little bit.
What is your official title?
Well, they said I could call myself whatever I wanted. So star. No, my official title is GiveSignup sales, or like peer-to-peer lead probably would be the yeah. Are we recording right now?
It is.
Oh, great, cool.
Everything's
Awesome.
recording.
That's always good to know.
See, I don't like to tell people that it's recording.
Great.
That way I just get the regular conversation.
When did Chris get fired? Oh, it was that day that he said he was a star. It was really good.
I'm here with Chris Newcomer, our peer-to-peer fundraising lead, and he's going to be talking to us today about building your website to be peer-to-peer friendly. That's not the words I wanted to use, but you have better words for how to explain what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're going to look at a couple examples of races that have put peer-to-peer fundraising as the main focus of their event. So if you have an event and what you really want to do is raise funds, that's the main focus. It's so great to put that foot forward and to use the tools that we have to lead with those things. And so the first example we're looking at is an event called Cross for Life Flight. They've used us for a couple years. They're a nonprofit up in Maine. And as you can see, they've got a beautiful slideshow going on. They've used that for the banner at the top of their page. They're using the cover page, which allows you to do things like that. They've got a great call to action to join the event with that register button. And then immediately they're showing their fundraising goal and that donation goal thermometer. So putting right in, focus the fact that this event is focused on fundraising. And then right below that, they've got their top individuals and top team fundraisers. So this is great for folks who have participants who are particularly competitive, so they're going to come back, they're going to check, they're going to see that other folks have maybe surpassed them, and then they're going to do a second round of emails, a second round of sharing on Facebook or wherever they have the most constituents. So yeah, this is someone's fundraising page, and they're showing, a real personal call to action. This is their fundraising page. They've got a picture of somebody they're raising that money for, which can be so compelling. And so certainly as the race director, you're providing them with default messaging and a default goal, but they can come in and they can make this really, really their own and make it something that allows people to get into the story as well. So they have not taken advantage of the fact, though, that there is a ability to have a slideshow at the top of this page as well. But this is how you would do it. You click that slideshow button. You could click choose your image, and then you can upload up to 10 images, and then they will slide through as people look at your page. Yeah, if we go back to this page, so you see all their sponsors are right there. So they've entered those sponsors on the back end in the sponsor portal, and there's a sponsor data point that they've just pulled on the cover page that automatically pulls these sponsors. And so that makes it really easy to add these things in and to build your cover page out in that way so that people see who is supporting the event. And especially if you've got like a title sponsor, it'll show the different levels as well. And will you actually go back up to the top for me? Do you see they've also got a fundraising tab at the top? They talks about their fundraising minimum. It talks about the fundraising levels and incentives. Will you click on fundraising tips? I want to see what they've got written there. Oh, this is awesome. So oftentimes for events, you as a race director, I'm sure are getting lots and lots of questions from fundraisers about, how do I share my page? How do I edit my page? And they've gotten ahead of that. They've created sort of an FAQ, a best tips page for fundraisers. And that's a great way to streamline the process and to save yourself from a lot of, emails from people who are wanting to do are wanting to support you, but who are maybe going to require more of your attention than you might have time for. So this is a great way to support them without having to answer every single email when you've already got the answer out there. And once again, you see the sponsors are right there at the bottom. So if you put the sponsors in the portal, they will appear pretty much all over your race website and in emails too. Why don't we look at the next example I had, which was Run of Hope Seattle. Yeah. So they're taking advantage of many of the same things with the cover page. They've got their donation goal thermometer, and below that they've got their top individuals and top teams. And now I'm really just driving Andrew crazy. Now scroll back up. right here. Perfect. They also, right on the cover page, are telling people how to create or join a team. So they're getting right in there, putting it forward, because I think team fundraising is a big part of this event. And so if you have an aspect of the event that is a large part of how the support is coming in, or how the event is focused, being really clear about how people can do that and join is super smart. And I know some people sometimes feel like, oh, I'm over communicating, I'm putting things in so many different places. I always think over communication is not the worst thing in the world, because I feel like you never quite know when someone is reading something, but it's actually like, going into their brain. I certainly have that issue. It's sometimes like, did I retain any of that sentence that I just read? So I think providing many chances for people to get the directions to join or create their fundraiser is a great idea for a fundraising focused event. They also have included the information on how to donate offline. Now there's a button for that exists on the donation page as well. But they put it forward in a way that you don't have to click into it. You don't have to look for that information. It's just right there on the cover page, because they want to make sure if anyone is looking to donate that they have all the information they need right away. Let's click on one of their, this is their donation page, and see they've got offline payment instructions. So once again, it exists in multiple places. They're over communicating, which I love. They're also using our charity partners in an interesting way. You see where it says fund designation? So this supports a children's hospital in Seattle that has multiple different funds. And so they wanted to give people the opportunity to raise money for those different funds. So if you click on fund designation, you can see the different ones they have. There's pediatric cancer immunotherapy research, pediatric brain tumor research. So folks can choose which fund they're supporting, or they can just donate to the whole event at large.
And again, this is our charity feature. They've just
Right.
renamed it Fund Designation.
Correct.
And over here as well, they changed fundraiser teams to Run of Hope Seattle team.
That's exactly right. Which is just proof of how much you can white label the tools that we have to make it look like the exact kind of event and the exact kind of tools you need. This is one example of it. We worked with a convent earlier this year, and instead of charity partners, they had different branches of the convent, different convents in their diocese were the different charity partners. And I thought that worked really well as well. And it, of course, was called the Fun Nun Run, because what else would it be called if a convent is putting on an event like this? That's the
pretty great
only name it can
I
have.
like that.
But yeah, so when someone comes here to donate, they're seeing, they can donate to they can choose a fund, they can choose a fundraiser, or they can choose a fundraiser team, but lots of different options. Let's click on their fundraising little thing right there and see what they've got. So they've got their fundraising, top team fundraisers, top individual fundraisers. What is that? Yeah, click on that. Where does that take us? Okay, great. So they are doing a very similar thing. It's sort of like fundraiser tips, but they're giving them great ways to share their fundraiser pages, to telling them to share them online, to tell their own personal story, which I think is really important, especially for sort of cause-driven charities like these. You can encourage their family and friends to sign up. They're also host a fundraiser of your own. I love that. And then make that your donation. So you have a bake sale at your house, and then include that, and you would pay that money then through the event. That's awesome. They're asking about matching programs. So they're really going to every corner of the lives of the people who are supporting them and participating, and trying to get them to support as much as they can. This is awesome. So those are the two main examples I have of events, and that's sort of the front-facing aspect of it, But with these events too, you can be very peer-to-peer forward in the way you communicate, with emails, with automated emails, and I don't know if you guys have mentioned this blog that Nancy helped set up about a couple months ago, but it's basically the top 5 emails to send fundraisers over the life of a fundraiser, and that's a great one to then make like the communication stream also very peer-to-peer forward. Because basically it'll say, hey, you want to send an email when they're getting started, an email as you're approaching the event, reminding people that they have these pages, an email as the event is going on, an email coming towards the end to remind them that, if they have any fundraiser minimums, that now is the time to sort of ramp up reaching out to their friends and family, and then that final email being, a big thank you. But she's got examples on there. It's a really, really helpful blog.